As soon as you enter this very large room, you'll see this short cinema of the door shutting behind you, and Link will stroll into the room looking around. It shows the light that is shining from the top of the dome-shaped room, which reminds me of the US Capitol building. After a moment, the screen will then zoom in towards the statue that is hanging out by the window. Hey, it looks just like the one from the entrance! You'll then regain control, so go ahead and run towards it, but it looks like there's someone in the way. As you get close, you'll see that certain someone will turn around, and it doesn't look like he wants to chat. Apparently him and Link have more in common than they thought. After showing off his antagonism, this will initiate the mini-boss battle of the Temple of Time, the Dark Knight. Now these heavily armored foes have a big shield along with their big sword. They take it slow and they come at you confidently. Now their weak spot is their backside, but it's very difficult to get behind them, so you have more luck in general trying to attack them from the front. As you can see here, I'm showing that most of your regular attacks, and even some of your hidden skills, don't work in general against these guys if you just run at them blindly. They'll take strategy in order to beat. And one option is to actually lay or throw bombs, which you can use to hit them from behind while you keep them in one spot by distracting them with either your sword or just holding your shield in. If you want to Z-target them, simply don't use your sword in order to defend against their attacks. And when the bomb blows, you want to quickly run in for the kill while they're stunned. The other way to harm them is to simply realize that they have a split second while they are attacking where their defenses are down. Use this to your advantage. Wait for them to attack, you either backflip, jump out of the way, you can sidestep, or you can simply use your shield to defend against it and then quickly stab them before they have a chance to react. And this way you can get past their defenses and then quickly get in a lot of attacks. So you backflip and then stab, stab, stab. After all of its armor has fallen away, it'll throw its big sword at you, which Link will dodge. Yikes! It then comes at you with a much smaller sword now, and it'll move much faster as well. It also has a different range of attacks this time around, and now it reacts very differently to your hidden skills as well. The trick to beating this guy is to catch it off guard, smack it a few times with regular sword strikes, and then use a jump attack while it's still trying to get its bearings, which will cause it to get past its defenses, and then quickly smack away. So slash, slash, jump attack, slash, slash. Another good move is to use the backslash, which will often get past their defenses as well. Once you've harmed it sufficiently, it'll thrash around a bit more before finally falling to the floor and turning all black and exploding like all the other creatures in the game. I don't know, for some reason like a bat exploding doesn't bug me, but a person exploding kinda seems weird to me. I don't know, bokoblins explode too though. After it's gone, the gate up ahead will then open, revealing a large chest. You want to run forward and open it to get the dungeon item, the Dominion Rod. This crazy little thing is what the chicken character Uku has been looking for all along. Yay! It's ancient technology that is used to bring life to statues, making them mimic your every move. This opens up a whole new array of puzzle opportunities, and we're going to be taking full advantage of this immediately. With that in hand, you want to back up a little bit and set the Dominion Rod to one of your item buttons. With it, you want to aim it at the statue on the upper platform, press the button again to swing the rod, which will temporarily toss the light forward, and if the light comes into contact with an inanimate statue, it will bring it to life, allowing you to control it and move it around. Once you regain control, you want to walk away from the platform to make the statue follow you off the ledge. Now one thing they don't explain that had me stuck immediately after exiting this room is that you can press the button again of the Dominion Rod in order to swing the rod, thus swinging the hammer that the statue is holding. We'll be using this repeatedly throughout this dungeon in order to break through various barriers and kill enemies. You want to press A to retrieve the light of the Dominion Rod, then get behind the statue and use it again. You want to walk it towards the only door that will lead us out of the room, and it'll take us back to the way we came from, and as it walks under the giant bell, it'll get teleported away. Kind of weird. With that, you want to go ahead and leave the room. As you are coming back, you'll see a short scene of the belt thing in this room, making the statue appear on this side of the door. Kind of weird that that's necessary, but whatever. You want to use the Dominion Rod to control the statue again, and as I said, they don't really explain this, but you can swing the Dominion Rod to make the statue swing its hammer. I was actually stuck here for a long time when I first played this game because I was walking back and forth because of that, because I just didn't think to swing the Dominion Rod again. I didn't make the connection that the statue could move its hammer. You want to make the statue break the gate, then hop on down and kill the Armos statues if you like using the statue. Now doesn't that just make you feel all warm and squishy inside? You want to run over to the opposite side and leave the statue by the platform. Place one of the jars on top of the switch here, and then use the Dominion Rod to place the statue on top of the platform. You want to remove the jar or smack it, whatever, to get rid of it, and then you want to join your buddy on the ledge. You want to use the Dominion Rod to take control of it again, and walk it down the stairs. At the bottom, you'll find that the jar that we place on top of the switch in order to deactivate the electrical barrier is no longer there. What a bummer! Instead, you want to use the statue to press it through the electrical barrier and place it on top of the switch. With that, we'll be able to go through ourselves and you want to take control of the statue once again. So now we can actually use it to smash the Spikey Dubers with a hammer. Mwahaha! Yikes, it's pretty intimidating. Do you think Chuck Norris would be intimidated by us now that we're so intense? Probably not. Chuck Norris probably doesn't even have the Dominion Rod. The statues follow him anyway. At the bottom of the next set of stairs, you'll find yourself back in the room with all these spinning blade traps. I wish there was something we could do about that, Do something that feels incredibly strategic and, like, real smart and everything. You want to smash the Dominion Rod button like crazy. Now, to quote the, Tony Shalhoub, who plays Fred Kwan, the engineer guy off the movie Galaxy Quest, it's the simple things in life you treasure. Next, you want to destroy the BMO statue as well to reveal a switch. You want to place the statue on the nearby platform to the south, and then deactivate it. Next, you want to use the Dominion Rod on the nearby little horn statue thingies, which are apparently controllable. So cute. Once you have successfully grabbed it, you want to place it on top of the switch in the middle of the room, and then use the Dominion Rod at long last on the statue to walk it towards the bell. With that out of the way, we're done with everything we need to do in this room, so turn around and go exit through the door. So at long last, we're back in this familiar room. As soon as you enter, the statue will appear out of the bell to the left, which we will be dealing with here in a moment. So I'm going to just leave that here for now. So you want to head over to the balance scale, and if you remember from earlier, I mentioned that to the west side of my map, that assuming you're playing the Wii version, that there is an upper platform that I said we would access at a later time. So now it's later, and now we're going to access it. So if you're playing the GameCube version, that would of course be to the east. In order to do this, we're going to need 3 little statues, or the big statue from 4. You can bring that over if you like. I'm just showing that you can use these ones as well. Now there's these 3 little statues up here that you can grab as well, and you can also use the ball and chain to knock them down. That also works. There's also a few other little statues in miscellaneous places throughout this room that you can use the Dominion Rod to grab. Once you have thrown them all to one side of the balance scale, you can use the other side to gain access to these higher platforms. There's one to either the left or the right, so you can use either one. Once you're up here, you'll be close enough to the target that it's in the center of the room in order to access it. So now you can use the claw shot to latch onto it. This will pull you over to the upper area of the center, at the center of the room. Once you're up here, you want to head over to these rails, which you can use a spinner on. To one side, the rails are broken, so you have to use the other side. Kind of suspicious. Why are there rails up here anyway? It's almost like someone put them there on purpose, considering the rails are very far and few between in this game. Anyways, once you're up here, you want to transform into a wolf, and you will find there's an impo up here. You want to go ahead and defeat it and collect postal number 52. Once you've collected that, you want to go ahead and enter the next doorway. So as soon as you enter this room, the door will shut behind you, and it will remain shut until you have defeated all 3 of the enemies that are found within this room. There are 2 Helmasaurs, which are kind of a pain by themselves. They have an Armos statue that's just near them as well. I recommend not waking up the Armos statue yet, and you can defeat it by itself here in a moment. So I recommend trying to lure the Helmasaurs over to this side of the room, and here I tried to smack this one. I totally did it a little bit too late, so I tried to smack it instead myself. Once you have defeated them, and I'm going to go ahead and real quick toss this over to this side of the room, and in a little bit you'll see why. But there's an Armos in this room, and if you can actually, as long as it's just waking up, you can sneak around behind it very easily and smack its crystal before it even has a chance to do anything. Once you've done that, the door that leads back out of this room will open, so we will be able to leave anytime we wish. You'll notice on your mini-map that there are 2 chests that are found within this room, and one of them is required, so we're going to have to do that here in a moment. One of the chests contains a red rupee, which is worth 20, so that's obviously not what we're required to get. Now you'll see that there are some of these little horn statue things in here, so you want to go ahead and place one of them on the switches in here. You'll see that there are only 3 statues up here, so that's kind of weird. So you want to put the 2 that are on these switches that are down here, and then there's also one that is up on top of this upper ledge. You can use the Dominion Rod to pull it down. You can also use the ball and chain to smack it and pull it down. I suppose you could technically use the bomb arrows as well if you really wanted to get technical. Go blow them up and make them fall down. Now the final switch is a little bit tricky. What you have to do is use the shells of the Helmasaurs and use your claw shot on them to bring them up to this upper ledge. From here you want to place it on top of one of the switches. This will press down all of the switches at once, allowing you to open the gate that is down below. You want to hop on down and open the large black chest to get the big key, which will allow us to access the boss door. Kind of important. That's all we have to do in this video, so join me for the next one, and we'll continue our way through the Temple of Time.